Last Sunday, he was on NBC, and then 60 Minutes, saying, no, we're going to solve this problem with the VA and such. And one of his quotes, and you might remember, the sign outside the VA hospital, come in and see the price of freedom. You know, and him being on 60 Minutes and NBC, he talked about the veterans and suicide. Now, and you mentioned it in part of your report. Drugs is one of the biggest problems this country faces. I've said it to Chief McClellan. 80% of his crime is drug related. To buy drugs, to sell drugs, to shoot for drugs. And the hardest people you have to deal with are people where their brains are fried on drugs. Whether it's a lady drowning her children in Clear Lake, that's a normal individual that the chemicals have done. Every mass shooting in this country, they're on something. Page 2, column 3, while they were on this prescription, they were off their prescription. Normal brains don't kill people, and that's one of your biggest problems. If you don't solve the cause of some of this homelessness and the crime, and drugs are the big part of it. Your report, you have accountability in it. That's beautiful. You know, Bill Gates, when he gives money, he said, okay, but I want to see results. I want to see an accountability system. And that's good. Long-term solutions. Don't give these soldiers a drug to cover up their post-traumatic. You know, find the cause. Talk to them. Long-term solutions you're offering to these individuals. And you give credit to everyone, and you did it at Minute Maid. Give credit to the New Hope Housing, the Star of Hope, Loaves and Fishes, the schools. You imagine how many teachers do this this home surfing? The teachers follow that child. They'll give them their cell phone number and keep them in school and save lives that way. HPD, City Health, Downtown Management District, all the groups, the collaboration is making this work. But I'm just telling you that the passion that you're putting into this, and I can see it in you, is doing more for this. And he talks about core services. I've been convinced that this is a core service of the city. If we don't care for the least of our brothers and sisters, you know, what do we do? But it is a core service. But this report is phenomenal. Your passion is good, and I appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you so much. You highlighted some of the things we're most proud of, and as well. And we hope to continue to offer reports and to continue to make you proud. There was a very interesting conversation with our friends from the United States Interagency Council on Homelessness, and we said, put us on a loop here, secretaries. Come on back in 6 months. We're going to make an announcement around chronic homelessness. And they said, if that's true, we'll bring 5 secretaries. And I said, maybe we could trade one in for one person from the White House.
There you go.
And, I really appreciate that we get that level of support from our federal partners. It's been tremendous. To answer your question about how do we verify veterans, so we work in close partnership with the VA. And so what every veteran has to do as part of connecting to the VA is they have to get their DD-214 through the HUD or the VA regional office. And what that DD-214 does is it verifies their time in service, and it also talks about their time in service and informs what they're eligible for. Not everyone who served is eligible for full medical care or full access to all of the resources. Now, what we've done in kind of bridging our two systems between the VA and our homeless response system is that at the end of the day, we are unconcerned with what that veteran actually qualifies for. We're going to house that veteran regardless, either through resources that the VA is putting on the table or through resources that HUD or some other partner is putting on the table. Verifying their status as a veteran is only necessary to figure out which one of those resources that individual needs.
And I appreciate also working holistically with this individual. They just don't have a food problem. They have a drug problem, an alcohol problem, a psychological problem, a clothing problem. That's beautiful, the way you approach it.
And I also want to add that, you know, the statement that Houston is leading the nation in reducing homelessness is not puffery, it is a fact. And one of the main partners in helping us do that is you, Council. And so we really appreciate your support. And I implore you to make sure that no matter who's heading up the administration next year, you make sure that reducing homelessness stays a priority. Because your elected leadership is very important in driving a system transformation and continuing to reduce homelessness.
Mayor, I think, I don't know if we're keeping accurate time, because this is the third one, and I've done 5 minutes, no matter buzzer sound. Right now, we're running into 7 minutes and 45 seconds of this one. So can we please have
I'm
that?
told they are keeping time, but I agree, it seems like time is running
well,
out.
right now, this is my second one, and right now I'm at 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Thank you.
Councilmember Boykins.
Well, that time it wasn't good before mine, but that's okay. Let me just say, for the residents of District D who's listening to this presentation, Mandy Chapman Semple is the Special Assistant to the Mayor for Homeless Initiatives, and Marc Eichenbaum is the Deputy Special Assistant to the Mayor for Homeless Initiatives. And the reason I'm saying it, I know there are a lot of people in my district that follows the municipal channel during council, and this is a major, major issue in District D. I was looking in the audience and I saw Bob Urin, who we call Mr. Downtown, who I can assure you can get up and speak about the chronic homeless issues in the downtown area. But since the development has taken place, it's been now moving closer to the districts in my neighborhood in particular. But these are people. And Mandy, I want to mark, both of you guys did a great job presenting. So Mandy, I want to thank you. I can see it in your eyes that this is important to you. I mean, it means a lot to you. And I thank you, and I hope with the next administration you decide to stick with us since you're a special assistant to the mayor, because this is a passion you have. You and Marc both. And I know before I met you, Marc was committed to, I mean, you couldn't get a no out of him because he was always trying to push, trying to find a way for these people that made bad choices, whatever they may have been, and that they're homeless. I want to thank the housing department and Star of Hope for addressing this in District D. On 2881 South, we will build some multi-family units to transition in with the Star of Hope into some single-family dwellings. And transitioning those individuals, I was listening to your statistics about people who go through the process and how they don't return. And we're looking to put them in some single-family homes when the time is right. And so I just want to commend you on that. I think you guys have put together a real good program. Last night I met with a gentleman by the name of Tim Baker. Some of you all may know Tim. And he brought something to my attention I had no idea about. He said the young gay and lesbian LGBT community of homelessness, young kids, is growing in the Montrose area. It's not in District D, but it's a humanistic issue. That has to be addressed. What are y'all doing to address the youth, regardless if they're straight or gay, that have issues that are on the streets, and what the city can do, if anything, to help address those issues?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. So we're just beginning to kind of get a handle around the youth challenge that's in front of us. So there was a comprehensive study performed last fall, and then an additional count done earlier this year. So we have some accurate data now around the youth and kind of the subpopulations that they fall into. There are youth services that already exist in our system. We know that they aren't fully adequate, and so we've been working over the last year to really examine where they're failing, right, or where they're overwhelmed, and what additional services we need to bring to the table. We've also been participating in a national demonstration project, so we're one of 2 cities in the country working to prevent homelessness among LGBTQ youth. And so we are trying to, there's been a full examination of all of the various parts of the system. We're really trying to look upstream to help prevent those youth from becoming homeless to begin with, or really supporting reunification or appropriate connection to family in some way.